Have you found that with lots of people you've had before?
Some people find it hard to get rid of the old habits and they give in just a little bit too easily. Again, the positive visualization is a really, really good way. So any time that you feel that you're tempted to have something to eat that you shouldn't be, have something that's unhealthy, then immediately think about what you want to achieve. See yourself in your favourite clothes, and that will help you deal with the craving that you've got for that particular food.
Let's talk a little bit about stress and how that plays a big part on people, and
yeah, there's 4 ways that people tend to control stress, and they're all wrong. The first is alcohol, the second is drugs, the third is sugar, and the fourth is
you've forgotten it.
I've forgotten it, yeah. Alcohol, caffeine, drugs and sugar.
Yeah, you said it.
Which did I miss out there?
Caffeine.
Right, yeah, caffeine, yeah, that's right, yeah. They might make you feel good initially, but in the long term they have a very, very detrimental effect and will actually make the stress much worse. Now, stress is largely misunderstood. Most people think that stress is the enemy. In actual fact, a certain amount of stress in your life is very good, and you're far more productive when you've got that stress in your life. The key to dealing with stress is to give yourself recovery time. And recovery time is either exercise or relaxation. And relaxation is not watching the television. They've actually done research in Italy that's shown that you're more stressed after watching the television than you are before you sat down to watch it. Now, there are exceptions. If you're watching David Attenborough or something on the telly, dolphins frolicking in the sea, then that's probably going to de-stress you. But if you're watching Coronation Street followed by Emmerdale and then EastEnders, you're going to end up much more stressed at the end of the evening than you were before you actually sat down to watch the television.
So finally, what would be your advice to someone who's been dieting all of their life, has been yo-yo dieting up and down, and they're just literally at the end of their tether and they just need to change their habits? What would your overall advice be with the experience you've had over the years?
Try NLP and hypnosis. A combination of the two works extremely well. The other thing is obviously look at people who have been successful and do what the successful people are doing.
Yeah.
And then you'll naturally be successful yourself.
Right.
Now, you might have to experiment with slightly different techniques that different people have used, because the same diet won't work for everyone. If it did, then it would be world famous. Different people require different styles, but ultimately you will find something that will work for you, and you don't have to actually look that hard to find it.
Dave asks, I would like to know if there's anything I can do to retain my motivation. I start, but it gradually wanes.
There's a number of tricks to maintain motivation. One is the use of rewards. Most successful people never actually stop to pat themselves on the back, let alone give themselves a reward for doing something well. What I would suggest you do is that if you're working towards some sort of healthy eating plan, and you stay on it for maybe 3 days or 4 days, then you give yourself a small reward for having done so. Now, I know it's obvious that you don't reward yourself with food or drink, but a lot of people make that mistake. They'll give themselves a little reward of something that's unhealthy. When I'm talking about rewards, what I mean is something that you enjoy doing, and I always recommend people make out a list of 6 or 7 or maybe 10 or even 20 rewards, and It's usually the cheap ones, and the free ones are the best. For ladies, I always suggest that perhaps they have cut flowers in the house if they've managed to maintain their successful eating plan for 3 or 4 days. They go out and buy some nice flowers. There could be something as simple as buying a glossy magazine, hiring a DVD, or going to the pictures. And you just have a huge list of these rewards, and you've always got something fresh to do after you've maintained that program for 3 or 4 days.
Great. And finally, Denise asks a great question. She says, why is it I'm always thinking about food? I never used to be like this, and it's not because I have nothing to do. I have a full-time job, 2 grown-up daughters and a grandson, plus a husband to keep me busy, but I still think about food all the time. Why? I quit smoking 13 years ago. Have I just replaced smoking with eating?
With smoking, you're either a smoker or a non-smoker. It's a kind of digital process. But with eating, everyone's got to eat. So that's why getting people to change their diets with hypnosis and NLP takes a little bit longer than a simple stop smoking session. Now, this is a classic case where the lady in question is using her imagination against her will.
Right.
She's imagining how good her favourite foods taste, and she's dwelling on those thoughts, and as a result she's desiring that food more and more. In NLP it's possible to use a technique called reframing, where you can reframe or change the way that you feel about certain types of food, and that would be the key for this lady to help her change the way that she relates to food.
Right. So Trevor, we've put together this fantastic weight loss Mind Power for Life program, a fantastic 7 MP3 program that people can listen to on their iPods and so forth. Can you explain a little bit about CD1, which is Motivation Mindset?
Yeah, there's some fantastic tools on the motivation mindset. 4 of them are taken from NLP, and then there's 2 other tools that have been developed from other fields, other areas of psychology. There's WHE, I've mentioned that already, the holistic hybrid of EMDR and EFT, and that's a fantastic tool for dealing with cravings. And then there's TFT as well. TFT was introduced about 7 or 8 years ago, and you've probably seen hypnotists using it on the television to help people control their weight. But WE is a much simpler technique. It's much quicker and helps people with those cravings. And you can reduce the craving from a level of 10 out of 10 down to 1 or 0 out of 10.
Wow. Just
by using this technique, and it takes no longer than about 7 or 8 minutes to do.
Wow, that's super quick. On CD2 we've got the Slim Road Ahead. Can you tell us what's going to happen in that?
That's the hypnosis session, and it's a really fantastic recording in which I get people to look at the future and what's going to happen if they don't change, and what will happen if they do change.
So these are they're listened to on their own at home before they go to bed?
Yes, or any time during the day. Or
as long as they're not driving?
As long as not driving, yeah. Any time of the day, and it will have a profound change on the way that they think about themselves.
Right. Now CD3 or MP3 sounds interesting. It's called the Eating Habit Quick Switch. Can you explain a little bit about that?
That's about reframing your beliefs about food and how to stop eating the stuff that is really unhealthy, and to reprogram yourself to actually like and enjoy healthy food.
Now I know personally that motivation to exercise was something that I had to get over myself. Can you explain a bit about CD4?
Well, again, it's all about reprogramming the mind and building in habits that are going to last for the rest of your life, and helping you change your beliefs about exercise, helping you realise that exercise is really enjoyable, and in fact making the exercise a new passion, something that you actually have to do every day. A bit like cleaning your teeth. You'd never ever forget to clean your teeth in the morning. And you can achieve the same with exercise. You'd never ever dream of going a day without some form of exercise.
Wow, powerful stuff.
It is very powerful. And it's important to stress that exercise doesn't actually mean running around the block 5 times. Exercise is something that you enjoy doing.
Exactly.
And it can just be something as simple as walking. And just walking can have amazing effects on your health. If you walk for 2 miles a day, you'll reduce your chances of dying of any disease by 50%. If you were to walk for 3 hours a day, then the research shows that you reduce your chances of developing cancer by 30%.
Wow.
If you walk for 4 hours a day, then that goes up to a whopping 60%.
So when we start jogging and doing more active things, then it gets even more
That's right.
amplified.
Yes,
And that's something which I obviously have experienced with my clients. On the audio file number 5, it's called Kill Your Sugar Parasite. What's going to happen in that session?
Yes, well, we talked briefly about how the way to resist a craving, and particularly sugar cravings, is to ignore it and it will go away. And this is a hypnotic session which just reinforces that metaphor of the sugar parasite living inside you. You're getting a little bit angry when you first stop feeding it the sugar that it's craving, but then it slowly weakens and dies.
On session number 6, we've got the Emotional Eating Eliminator. That sounds really interesting. Really, after the session, what are they going to feel?
They'll realise that if they're eating to comfort themselves, then that only actually produces a false comfort within them, something that makes them feel guilty and probably makes them feel quite nauseous as well. And they'll realise that there's other ways to crave the comfort that they want in their lives, to get that comfort in their lives. Also help them deal with any other negative emotions that may be causing them to eat or overeat.
Wow. And finally on CD7 we've got the Sleep and Stress Transformer. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, well, it's very, very important to make sure that you get adequate sleep. Or say adequate sleep. Most people need between 7 and 8 hours sleep a night. Good quality sleep. And if you're not getting that, then it can have all sorts of detrimental effects on your health. So this is designed to help you go to sleep. But you can also listen to it during the day, and it will help you manage the stress in your life as well. As I've already said, the best way to manage stress is not to try to eliminate it, but to give yourself recovery time. And this recording is really, really good at helping you recover from the stress.
Now with 7 parts, 7 audio files for everyone to listen to, this full transformational, motivational set, how do they use it? How would you advise that they put it into place so they can guarantee their results?
Well, there's 7 CDs and there's 7 days in a week. So what I suggest they do is they listen to 1 CD from the set each day. Maybe in the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they decide which one most applies to them, which one will give them the best results. And then they listen to that one for the next 7 days. And then they listen to another one for the next 7 days. And so on, until they've worked right through the set.
Wow. Well, that's brilliant, Trevor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Simon back again, and I really hope you